Nature relaxes, de-stresses, and rejuvenates. The Alchemy of Nature. The word alchemy in the Middle Ages meant the changing or transformation of a base metal, such as lead or any other metal, into gold, something far more precious. In this lesson, we shall see how nature has the power to transform us from dull, stressed out human beings to more vibrant and loving creatures. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. These are the words of the famous poet William Blake. My dear students, something as tiny as a grain of sand can spark off an idea or imagination of a huge significance to the world. One can witness and experience the beauty of heaven in something as small as a wild flower and derive joy from it forever. Only one should have the eyes and time to see it. Infinity is endless space, but your small palm can hold the destiny of the earth through your efforts. Eternity is endless time, but just an hour in your life can make a difference to the world forever. Great deeds can surpass the limits of time and space. They never die. My dear students, this is an inspiring article in which the narrator describes her close experiences with different features of nature and the wonderful lessons in life she has learnt from it. Let us now focus our attention on the text. The writer says, "We instinctively turn to outdoor activities and nature as a way of relaxing and enhancing our well-being. Nature soothes means comforts, and nurtures, nourishes. Nature fulfills, satisfies, and motivates. Nature whispers, speaks softly, and commands. Are you listening? When I do, it leaves me in complete awe." The writer says, when she listens to nature, it leaves her in complete awe. It leaves her in admiration. She gives us an instance of nature. This lesson we shall see many examples of nature from which we learn lessons for ourselves. Let us take a look at the first example the writer places before us. We have a hibiscus plant in our garden. Every fortnight, a flower blooms on it, big, bright, and tender. Through the day, it smiles with the sun and dances with the wind. But as evening approaches, it starts wilting. The morning after, it withers completely, and by evening, it falls and becomes one with the earth again. The flower comes to life only for a day, yet it does so in full splendor. What if we too lived our life, however short, to its fullest? My dear students, a beautiful example from nature. The writer has given us this beautiful example of the hibiscus flower that smiles with the sun and dances with the wind. The flower comes to life only for a short while, only for a day, and yet it makes the most of the day by living its short life in full splendor. It lives its life with full splendor, full brilliance, bright and beautiful. This is how it makes the most of the short life that God has blessed it with. And through this example, the writer is trying to tell us that we too should live our life to the fullest, for we do not know how long we live. My dear students, the writer explains to us in this paragraph the contrasting features of water and rock. She tells us that water is gentle while rock is hard. Water is persistent while rock is humble. Water is persevering while rock is obedient. Water is determined while rock is adaptable. Let us take a look at the text. We went to a rocky beach and saw the spread of the majestic ocean and the rocks alongside, carved, sculpted, and shaped by the water. Water is so gentle, rock so hard. Yet, as the water flows over it every day for years, the rock gives in. It takes the shape that the water commands. Our problems too are so colossal, and we are so small. Yet, if we persist. Now, my dear students, through the example of water and rock, through this contrasting difference in their nature, the writer is trying to tell us that if we too are determined, if we are persistent and persevering, nothing can stop us from achieving our goals. We saw small bits of grass peeping through the small cracks in a concrete pavement. It left us thinking, however impossible things may look, there is always an opening. My dear students, yet another example of nature that teaches us a valuable lesson for life. My dear students, we are sometimes faced with many obstacles or unfavorable conditions that make it difficult for us to live or to reach our goals. But like the bits of grass, we too should learn that nothing is impossible if we have a strong will and determination. The writer shares another experience where she says, "We saw a tree bare of leaves in the cold winter months. We thought its chapter was over. But 3 months passed by, spring set in, and the tree was back to its green majesty once again, full of leaves, flowers, birds, and life. What if we too had the conviction that however difficult things are right now, it will not remain so forever? Remember, this too shall pass." My dear students, this experience of the writer teaches us that hard times do not last forever. Difficult situations are not permanent in our life. If we believe in ourselves, if we have conviction and an optimistic thought about the future, we can achieve what we want. We should therefore never give up due to discouragement or due to any obstacle that we face. One should always remember that nothing lasts forever. So also, troubles, sorrows, obstacles won't be permanent in our life, and hence we should be patient and never give up. My dear students, we have much to learn from the army of ants that the writer points out to. We saw an army of ants lugging a fly, which was at least 10 times the ant's size. The ants organized themselves around the fly, lifted it on frail feelers, and carried it to quite a distance. Their teamwork and perseverance were impressive. What if we too are consistent, organized, and focused. Yes, my dear students, if we are organized, if we are consistent, and if we are focused, nothing can stop us from achieving our goals. Spiders' webs are delicate, yet very strong. A rainbow colors the entire sky. Oysters take in a grain of sand, they open up with a pearl. Innumerable stars shine across the infinite sky. Clouds take new shapes with every passing moment. The wind makes trees dance with unhindered passion. Water, without hint of ego, changes its form according to the dictates of the sun and the wind. When we see a caterpillar turn into a butterfly, a flower turn into a fruit, we experience the alchemy of nature. We touch it and become gold ourselves. So you see, my dear students, this is how nature succeeds in its alchemy, by changing things in a mysterious way. It can turn a small person into anything he or she wishes. One touches nature and becomes gold oneself.